Good afternoon and welcome back. Welcome to the North American segment of the show, the Two Shot, because Launders is downstairs collecting some food for all of us, which you ordered about 2 hours ago.
Yeah.
So we've got 4 games of Counter-Strike coming up for you today. Let's have a look and see in a second what matches we have. But first, follow me on the tweeters. Follow me, follow me, follow me.
Follow me.
Luminosity versus Rogue. We've got 4 matches for Rogue today. They will be playing versus Luminosity first on Overpass and Inferno, and then Mirage and Inferno versus NRG. Those second 2 games are going to be quite explosive versus the likes of NRG and Cirque, but the likes of Luminosity and Yell will be very dangerous as well. How are you doing?
Especially if they play as they did the previous days. I think it's going to be pretty tough. Because what do you do when... I mean, it's kind of cool, all the Counter-Strike we've seen. We just got to see Oscar and Simple play again, and they were actually trolling each other during the match as well, like shooting each other in the head and stuff.
Did you see, I think it was Sonny who uploaded a Plays TV clip of their comms when they were doing the double... They did a double run boost.
Yeah,
one of them failed, yeah. So it's kind of funny.
I didn't see that. It's on Reddit, or is it?
I retweeted it.
Nice. Yeah. Okay, I got to check that out.
It's kind of amusing. So that was Europe, but it is time for North America. So we're going to see a lot of Rogue today. So I suppose we can focus on them, the likes of Hiko and Cadian. Cadian's had a very consistent output for Rogue, it must be said. If you look at his statistics in their matches, he's always up there in the frags, or very, very, very often up there in the frag leaderboard, and so much is great for him. You know, another European expert. Billund, that's where he's from. Or it's either where he's from or he flies from. Billund in Denmark. One of the 2. My arm hurts, Dan.
But we need to get the ice out again.
Yeah, he needs to get more ice.
Did it actually help?
It did, but now it's hurting up here, like above the elbow. It's just travelling up the
ice
arm.
all of it.
Yeah.
It's like you have to chop the arm off.
Hopefully not. I don't want to do that.
But Cadian is he has to go up against Yell, and Yell. I feel like Yell is.
Sorry.
Yell is.
I wasn't trying to invade your shot.
Did you get in there?
I was just looking. I was like this. I was looking down for the thing for this, but I can't find it. So I don't know. That's why I was looking down there. You've probably done something with it. Ow, my arm! Bloody hell! I can't move my arm. I need ice for my arm. It hurts more in the afternoon. This is consistent because it hurt yesterday. I ordered a wrist brace, but it won't come until next week. But really, I think I need a whole brace on my forearm. But yeah, my book will do for now. So I have to keep my arm out here because.
Is it like a brace or like a sling?
Brace.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not a sling. Enough about that. Yeah, I've been going too hard in NACS, and I had a 7-game win streak. I think I've won 8 of my last 10 games, which is quite something. I think my biggest win streak on FACEIT is actually 8 games. So I was kind of annoyed that I lost game number 8, but it was always bound to happen. It's the second time I've had
it's like you're a fighting game character, and you've got like this special ability where you do 50% more damage, but you do 25% damage to yourself or something like that. You know, like that's what's happening.
I'll go with that. Yeah, that's what's happening. I mean, that's what's going on.
So as far as the match goes, I just don't think that Rogue can deal with Luminosity. I think that's going to be a pretty crushing game, honestly. What was the first map? Don't tell me it's train.
It's under my arm.
Do we to read the?
We've got the schedule page. We've got the schedule page. I don't want to move my arm. I don't like being in pain. Overpass. I think Overpass will be telling us funny that Nico from FaZe said he had 2 wishes, one of which was minus Overpass, and the other was minus CZ75. I love Overpass, so hopefully no one's listening to him.
It's really funny because you like look at the players on his team. He's got insanely good Overpass players. He's got like Rain might be is probably the best player in the world on the A side of the map.
So he's definitely one of them, yeah.
And just like Guardian.
Yeah.
Just
back into the game though. Overpass is I think it's going to be very telling. I think it's a good map to see where a team are in general because of how active you have to play, and I think there's a lot of mid rounds to be had in Overpass, and I think it's quite telling if we have the complete information just watching how they rotate from A to B, pun not intended. So I think that would be an interesting map to see. Because obviously Rogue are the newcomers and they need to avoid being the punching bag of the league, because always the people who have just made it into the league just often will get beat down pretty hard by everybody else in the league. And it is sink or swim, so we will see if they can swim today.
It's definitely going to be quite difficult. I mean, Overpass is a very technical map, and I mean that is one of the maps we saw Rogue play previously. So, perhaps it is somewhat of a go-to for them generally. But the problem for me is whenever I'm looking at like 2 teams, I'm always thinking first, can this team deal with that team from just like a firepower perspective? Like, what are we talking about from a firepower perspective? And I actually think that Luminosity are offering up really, really solid firepower. When Nekis, Cello, and Yell get going, it's pretty scary. And the fact that, I mean, we saw on Cobblestone some ridiculous stuff from PKL. The guy can frag. The guy has a very good game sense. He's a pretty darn good leader for the team as well. And so they have a lot of tools. I think it was either Sean or Jordan, probably Sean, I think, actually. Sean Garrett, when he was on the show, he said that Luminosity is sort of quite comparable to NRG insofar as sort of the types of players that they have on the team, the types of tools that they have on the team.
Okay.
Obviously, Yell is not quite Cirque, but Yell is actually still so insanely good. From last year when we first saw him, the improvements have actually been pretty massive. And I feel like he's just getting more confident, which is really cool to see.
Yeah, I really hope that no players get poached from NRG in this next year, because I want to see how far they can go as a unit. And also, like, you might find a very talented player like Cirque and take him to a bigger team, but he won't necessarily be a good fit for that team, although I think he'd be a good fit for a lot of teams because he's so explosive. However, I just want NRG, I want this bubble of NRG to stay together, to stay as one, because it's a nice stable roster. They've had a lot of people in and out of their door, and it's never looked as good as this has. Tickets are available for Wembley. If any of you Europeans are watching, or any Americans who like long-haul flights, then wembley.csgoleague.com is the website for you. That's where you can pick up some tickets for our finals in June in London. I can't wait for those. And the way some of these teams are playing, such as NRG, I think it's going to be some really good finals.
Should we go into the knife? We don't do that normally.
Yeah, let's do it, yeah.
Let's just go into the knife.
Why not? I have one arm, I have one arm, and the knife is over.
Oh.
Never mind. Never mind. Where is Launders of our food?
It's true.
He's like,
I've got the sickest food coming, man.
I'm just going to check.
This Jamaican chicken.
My phone was vibrating. And was it him? No, it wasn't.
I don't have anything to throw.
It is my girlfriend saying that she's craving popcorn.
As the production like, Dan, throw something, do some cool actions. I'm like, I have nothing to throw. But really they meant throw to the transition. This is my first time on a broadcast. My name is Dan.
How's Cadian dead? What? He's dead already.
I think he tried to jump onto the train, James. So it's very specific timing.
Fell off a building instead.
I like this with the flashbang and everything. That's quite cool. You don't often see this. I mean, Luminosity trying to innovate. And CZ will be out there for Showtime to eviscerate. Very good, Dan. Yeah.
Very good. Works. Yes. I approve of this, and Showtime approves of Sick presenting him with the bomb. And the bomb will be left there. Left as tributes, perhaps. Now it's down to Hiko in a 1 versus 4. He's got himself a souvenir P250 nuclear threat. All-star souvenir, no less, if I'm not mistaken. Which is going to be a rare one. Look at him with the fancy skins. Though his P250 is so covered, you can't even enjoy the actual pistol itself, like the skin, which kind of sucks, Hiko.
That's why I don't like the stickers often, even though the stickers can look cool. I feel like they kind of obscure too much.
Yeah, or you want to customize it yourself.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Well, it's good stuff for Luminosity, though. Have all the toys to play with on the CT side of things. Rogue will be making their way across the playground area into the park area. So playtime's over, time to chow down. There's a picnic basket that's been left there, James. I wonder why. Who's left it there?
The picnic was quickly abandoned by the approach of these dodgy-looking characters of the Rogue team on the T side. Cello may not be prepared for this close-range player. Avoiding the flashback, that's a really nice 180 from him, but he will get absolutely no kills from it whatsoever. PKL trying to clean up, he's got time to rotate, sorry, to reload, while Yell holds things down. And there is Sick left now with the CZ, and he will be dispatched in such a fashion with the high explosive grenade.
Yeah, it's going to be Nico for Rogue, so Luminosity can get crazy. This can be a round that where they can have fun. Lots of fun. I wonder if they will have fun. Will fun be had? It's important to... this is a comment we saw from Counter-Strike professionals in the past, and it's something that is important, is that it is a game, and whilst playing the game for a lot of time can sometimes be draining, and sometimes the grind can sap some of the fun, you still do need to have fun when you're playing this game at a professional level. It really, really, really helps. It's very important. So we'll see whether or not it will be the case that Luminosity will be able to get themselves in these deep positions. This is a great map for it. Take Suez control, get the monster pushes going. Push the fountain, gets 3-man deep setups towards the A side of the map, take connector over. And I basically just talked about almost all of the map, and that is what is accessible to the CTs. Very nice, Marcello there. Look at that, just trigger control there, just beautiful.
Great conservation of bullets.
Yeah, that was really good.
More arguments for the M4A4 being the weapon of glory, weapon of wonder.
That was really beautiful, actually. Like he controls that so very well. I imagine the amount of people that would just hold mouse 1 down, and there's nothing wrong with that either if you've got good spray control. But I appreciate that specifically. That's more rain style, James.
It is. It is. Now we're into the buy round. Yell with the AWP and none for Cadian again. It has been a focus for the desk here, if we can call it that, or the table. For the round table of ECS, about the merit to make sure your dedicated snipers have their sniper rifle on the first round, and maybe it won't matter for Rogue as Vice catches Luminosity with an ill-timed aggression, making it all of a sudden a 4-1 situation. Not in favor of PKL. The QQ stops him from being able to take Hiko out. Who knows what would have happened if he didn't press Q.
It's more of a rectangle, James.
What is?
The table.
Well, I wasn't going... Oh, I see what you're saying there, yeah. Okay, sure.
I just thought, I guess that's more of, that would have been more relevant if Launches was here.
It's a figurative round table because we are around...
It's true, that is true.
Our formation around the table is kind of round.
I mean, if Launches was here, I feel like it would have been a good defense for when his shapes are called into question, but could have made it a thing, but... Anyway.
Could have redeemed himself.
Yeah, the opportunity is missed.
As far as we know, he still doesn't know what a circle is.
Let's see. That was actually really precarious. I am so surprised no one took damage. Nobody took damage there. That's kind of nuts. But Suez will be occupied. Occupated? Is that a word?
No.
Why did I think that was a word? That's really weird. Occupied. Okay. Long will be checked by Rogue. This is a huge round as far as the economy goes. This will set Luminosity up very well if they are to take it. And if they lose it, Rogue are so back in this. And the question is, for Luminosity, what is going on? Now, they know that Suez was taken a while ago, but there hasn't really been much in the way of noise there. So a lot of teams would want to pop flash in just to check. There are 2 players waiting there, though. So the lack of map control from Luminosity, we'll have to see if it bites them in the backside. It's something that we've called into critique for them in the past. Overpass gives you so many opportunities as the CTs to get information and to create plays. Being passive, though, can have its merits. And in comes the push. And the initial setup will be crushed. So now they have to retake with 3 versus 5. And in a round like this, where you get reset if you lose, maybe you want to just leave this and just survive with 3 guns, which looks like it will be the case. And this is just Luminosity being punished for not getting any information on the map. We have been punished.
They will have to hold on if Rogue will allow them. And maybe this is the strategy. Again, going back to the AWP in the first round kind of thing. If you know your opponent's going to have one, then there's also an argument that you just spend less money if you think you're capable of winning the round of the AKs, and then just take their sniper rifle afterwards.
Indeed.
Especially if you have a hard read on their behavior and find a way to exploit them in some description. Ooh. Play spotted for a second, but nothing doing. See Vice's entries into the B bomb site. Hiko in tow as well. I don't mind. I think these colours contrast well with each other. The flip knife and the blue hand wraps.
The red green Hiko is nice as well.
I think the red is. I think the green is too extreme for the red. But that's just my opinion. Luminosity fighting with what they have. Jump spotting going on. I don't know what you call that position because the other side is graffiti. But I don't know, I don't have a name for that spot.
Which spot?
That spot there on the left.
On the left?
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah, sometimes I call it jungle. But I think it's a bit of an outdated...
If anyone else has a call out for that position specifically, let me know. I don't have one. But I think it's needed because it's... in the middle of a round when you're pushing as a T or something, I've struggled to describe that position.
Yeah. You can triple boost there, right?
On graffiti you can, to look into short B.
Yeah.
Or over there, I think you can just boost with 2 people.
Oh, yeah. I was confusing the 2 spots, yeah. So, yeah, this got kind of weird. This is a really strange game. I think now I remember this was a criticism we had for Luminosity in their last CT rounds, that they weren't aggressive enough on the CT side. So we'll see. I mean, they did get punished when Yell went deep, but it was kind of a basic push from Rogue. So we'll see if Luminosity have anything else to play out these spots better, because you have to be aggressive. They got a 3-man setup towards A, and what are they up to? Okay, they're all towards... It's a pretty strange setup actually on A long. I don't know if that I've seen any setups like that really too much. They can be completely circumvented. And PKL's pushing, that's fantastic.
Where does that smoke go? I'd love to see where that smoke goes. It's a new one for me.
Here we go.
Oh, is it a... That's a B smoke?
If PKL goes connector or monster...
Surely they went to A.
There's a big wins.
Oh. Well, that's a smoke. I don't know what that is.
Okay, PKL's about to flank onto Vice.
That can't be the smoke.
And what does he decide? Oh, you have to look. Okay, thank God. Okay, so he gets the kill immediately. Goes for the follow-up. Now that's interesting. Now I'll mention that. I'll talk about that in a moment. Okay, so there's 45 seconds left. And what I was going to say is that when PKL gets that first kill, you can just hold that position, because the threat of you on the flank is enormous. Instead of going for more, 1v1s.
29 seconds remain, and there's a flashbang towards A. Perhaps to pull rotation, but no one's committing to this in this 4 versus 4. And I really feel like if you're going to fake, sometimes you need to sell that player, and maybe send him to his doom on the other side. But that won't be the case, and Luminosity seem ready for this. Nick is holding down the water area, rotating to the side as the T's rotate to the water, but with 7 seconds left, this is wasted a lot of time, and there goes the bomb, and Sick does not have time to win this round. He will be forced away by what remains of Luminosity.
So this was interesting because there's a lot of stuff that happened. I'm not sure that I agree with some of the stuff, but we'll talk about it. So obviously PKL goes to the flank at first, which is perfect. That's really, really good. We need to see that as much as they can, and he gets the info. I mean, they had the info. They had enough pieces of the puzzle to understand it's going to be a B play. He goes for the next push after the kill, which I think is quite greedy, because from everything he's cleared and what his team knows, they have to be setting up for B. There's nothing else that can be possibly going on as far as they are concerned. So he's going to take another 1v1, as opposed to just threatening a flank and containing, which is quite strong. But we'll come back to this in a moment, because there's other stuff there. We do have a very fast straight up push into the bomb site, faster pace. Nekis will start things off well for the team, but he will be eliminated, and Showtime will be able to trade on to Vice, holding his position and allowing his teammates to get in there. So this will be quite tough for Rogue to hold on to these spots with the nades that are there for Luminosity. Good pick from Yell, that's pretty beautiful.
2 T's remain, and there is a flank coming in from the short B position. PKL, has he seen... Oh, he's not at the door yet, so he hasn't seen Hiko moving back towards Monster. That clock still has some time on it, and Cello's looking for the rotation from Monster. They're all looking for it, and Cello will trade. I don't know how he didn't see Hiko first, and how Showtime goes down, but either way, it works. Cello will hunt for an AWP to save, and get there just in time. And it's 5-3 for Luminosity, so we'll see what the impact is on their economy, the Brazilian side, as Rogue can most certainly buy once again. Cadian will be dropped to an AWP from Sick.
Nice. That's a really big frag. And it just shows you how difficult it is to hold on to B sometimes. Unless you can get the boost into balcony and get a little bit more funky with those pushes. But Luminosity looking to eliminate the money now of Rogue. If they're able to do so, they will be able to pull ahead quite far, actually, potentially. And they'll go for the 3-man long setup again, which we saw in the previous round, where eventually PKL pushes, or 2 rounds ago. And they will just be chilling for the time being. Rogue taking it slow. Now, what is Rogue's idea in this round? They are looking to take it long, so this could be quite rough. Setup is here for Luminosity. BL's ready, waiting, and the flash comes in. But there it is, behind the bike, behind the basket. PKL shooting an AK-47, but the headshots rain in for Rogue as well to clean things up. They may not expect Cello. They may expect someone to be on the A site, and not for someone to be in Cello's position, which could be the genius of this 3-man setup. We'll see. He's going to investigate, and he gets caught by Sick.
Overkill, 448 damage in the face. And Sick will continue in the long position, but be completely unprepared for Showtime. That's one of the 2 players found. Nekis might move through that smoke you just saw on top of the stairs. So we'll see. Looking for Showtime. Is he close? Is he far? He's far, and now he's thinned out the numbers. Vice is alone. By Optimus is Nekis. Crouch Peak will finish off the job. Again, 2 people surviving for Luminosity, but with no bomb plant. That is making life more difficult for Rogue. They can buy, though. Only 1 person is short. And
this next frag from Showtime, if it's yeah, look at the peeking here. It's a really nice wide peek. He knows he's about to get peeked, so he goes really wide on the swing. And the power of that at the distance is that it makes it much harder for the other player, if he's spraying, to connect follow-up bullets. So the wide peaks are very strong for that reason. Again, it's always, again, if you're looking to try to improve yourself as a player, always pay attention to the spots where the professionals, you know, like what kind of peeking are they trying to use, and what are the advantages and disadvantages. And as your understanding grows, so will your power, your strength, and maybe even your eloquence.
3-6. The first of 4 games for Rogue. They do not want to start this off on the bag leg, if there is one. On the cheap prosthesis. The bomb has been left very far behind. So someone will need to collect it and rotate it. But in the meantime, they'll take their usual positions. They pretty much have everything covered, the T side. So they know that there are no shenanigans from Luminosity in a round such as this. As you can see, Katie is looking for a peek, and while he holds the angle, Vice will try to creep past. And they think that the barrel position is clear, perhaps, but it isn't. Showtime is there with an off angle. The setup from Nekis and Co will be broken, but Showtime is there to trade.
Oh, the miss from Cadian. That would have gone a long way, that frag. 30 seconds, and there's someone committed to make a move into a bomb site. 6 in a forward position, but the off angle from Cello is about to annihilate him. And 6 forward position, that was the argument to go into A. And now there's... Oh, nice frag. Redemption from Cadian, but 12 seconds. Need to plant ASAP. Trying to buy time. Chico just barely gets the kill in time. And he has time for the plants. In comes Showtime, though. Oh, did he dive?
Boy.
Oh, he didn't plant.
That's massive, straight in the head.
Wow, that was really timely, that rotation.
And for those of you at home who play the barrels position, I think a lot of people have the habit of standing in the corner of barrels, so you're watching short B the entire time. And you can see there, if you stand just to your right, you don't show. Now, some CTs will peak at every 3-4 seconds, as opposed to holding the line all the time. If you're against a better aimer, you're going to get shot in the head if you're just standing there. But if you peak every 4 or 5 seconds, then they may think it's clear, look somewhere else, and you get a free kill. Or, as you saw, Showtime just didn't peek at all. He was using the pillar for complete obscurity and probably looking towards Monster for the setup he had with his teammates. So there's another variation, but it's not always wise to just stand there and hold an angle. There's more that you can do with that, and that is quite powerful. If you hold your off angle, people may make the assumption that no one's there, as you might have just seen with Rogue. 4 CZs for Rogue. Cadian will continue with the AWP after the disaster of the previous round. Rogue may be led out of Connector into the hands of Luminosity to chase that kill. Connector can be a dangerous place for the CTs. Cello, has he made any sound cues? Tick is rotating away. That is a lot of information here for Luminosity.
That's a big tell right there. Now it's really on his teammates in the site, because they can stack B however they please, but they've actually still worried about stairs, so they've kept one there. Good thing for them, it's a force. And Cello should be able to wrap it up here.
Didn't necessarily want to engage immediately, and look at the charge. It's nice to just hold a kind of blind angle and shoot them when they start to move into Monster. GMD now with the sniper rifle, and we see that now there is an off angle in the barrel's position. Now Nekkers is holding it there, but it's almost a guaranteed crossfire for the CTs, and there it is. Nekkers and Showtime will finish things off. Minimal damage done, and they will steal Cadian's AWP as well.
Looks like Luminosity are looking good as ever. Yesterday were very dominant. Last maps were very dominant. And they're continuing their form. Good map for CT side of Overpass. They like to get aggressive, take those off angles on bathrooms, and we're seeing them abuse that. This is always nice when you get this spawn.
But like he wanted a hop there. See, now if he was using a spacebar, who knows what might have happened?
I don't know. I personally don't.
Can Cello see the numbers? He can. Looking to engage one, but not wanting to overstay his welcome. I'm sure he would have been very susceptible to a spray down there. No lurkers outside B. Look at the CTs. They've made a play. Showtime's gone through Monster, and I feel like this is a lack of respect for their opponent, which is nice, because I don't think they would do this against every team. I think it's very specific to, well, at least to Rogue.
Yeah, we saw Luminosity give Cloud9 too much respect on Overpass, and here they've changed it up. It's very dangerous to do the monster push. Something Taco used to do a lot on SK that was really good, that usually wasn't picked up on.
Yeah, Simple will do it on rare occasion as well, and always had perfect timing when we witnessed it. So he's made his way all the way around to long A, and Rogue think they have all the time in the world, but the clock is on their backs, and they don't know it. Got to be careful with these footsteps on long Nekkers, because there is an off angle for Cadian with the CZ. I wonder what Cadian's play is in that position.
Oh my god.
Starting to creep now, and PKL could get compromised. So which way was this going to go? PKL will get things kicked off, and Cadian's there to trade, and now he's beyond the angle where he can get taken down from long. But is he going to go back? Cello in the toilet position. Down he goes, and the 3 players at the back. Oh, this is not going as well as you thought it might. Down to 2-on-2, 2 AWPs. A massive second shot from Showtime leaves Cadian with 7 HP. Do they know he's tagged? Do they have any idea? I'm not sure they do, because both the AWPs are out. There is a Molotov and Yell, but there's no way it goes into this position. Rifles coming out now for Showtime, and that might make the difference. Does Cadian even peak in this situation? Surely he has to try and stop something. Not believing the first defuse. Second one is out, and oh, so close. The meat shield was there, and maybe it was just enough.
My goodness, timed perfectly. And Luminosity forced the defuse. The meat shield came through, and it paid off. It paid off. Wow, that was close. Cello not getting a single kill on flank. You know, it's funny, that happened at Oakland. I went back to watch the demo. It says there was a Reddit detective that went back and watched all the demos to see if Taco was really as bad as, you know, people made him look. And I went back to watch the demos myself as well, and I saw that he actually pulled off a lot of those big flanks. And the main problem was that he didn't get the kill, but he did do what he needed to do for his team to get the information.
I don't like social pressure with regards to players and roster swaps. I feel like there was a period of time where it was quite influential, and people don't always know what they're talking about in that regards.
Definitely.
And that annoys me. So Vice is in prime position for Bottle, Flashbang, and Molotov combination.
I don't know them offhand.
So from the graffiti position, where that light is at the bottom of the screen, you bounce a Molotov off of there, but you throw a flashbang from barrels or somewhere first. So the flashbang hits him, and then the Molotov is deployed.
Oh, for Vice.
The Molotov goes on the high ground and the low ground. So if you stand there, as you would if you're blind to take cover from somebody short B, then you're standing in a Molotov and you die without even knowing you're on fire.
You don't even know it.
Exactly, it's genius, but no one does it, ever.
That's at least 400 or 500 IQ.
3-man push through the long position. The smoke tries to buy some real estate for Luminosity. Is Cadian willing to push through it? Spamming everywhere. But the inbox is rejecting his emails. That's a nice shot from Yell by the barrels. And there's no answer to these frags from Yell. Got to be careful with the spam though, because Cadian is peeking and Cello's there to trade. Another round where 2 Luminosity players survive, but they win the round 10-3. It's a landslide so far.
That might have been a really good defensive smoke that's used. And those can really just, they throw a spanner in the works. We've seen Nekaz using it actually this one way, and it helps Yell as well cut down the amount of angles he has to worry about. We can see him separating these fights. So
yes, it is becoming a common smoke on an execute, and it reminds me of when the CTs smoke quad on cash, when the Ts start to come out of A main and such. Pop flash is absolutely perfect, but Showtime does not see the additional plays. He does now by the pillar, misses the snap, but he has players in tow for support. The Mac-10 EAK doing some damage here, but PKL's cleaning up. He's bleaching the floor of Overpass. Now leave Cajun alone with the Mac-10, close range against Cello, and he really wants to make sure he's dead. Is that some frustration, perhaps? He's got an M4A4. Now he can check the bullets, 25 in the magazine, no need to reload. For those of you at home who would just go for the auto reload, it would tell the CTs where he is, and maybe they reposition to tighter spots based on that information, so you don't reload unless you really, really need to.
a good lurk kill here would make a world of difference. Cadian playing the clock. Unfortunately, they won't go too far from the bomb, but you know, at least they might. Wow, they've actually flanked him. He doesn't realize it.
Oh, get the knife in PKL, man. Psychological warfare.
Sometimes it's half the battle. He saw Flesha doing that with FaZe. A lot of clips on Reddit with him. Shooting the floor, reloading, shooting the floor after a round was over at Nico. Trying to tilt him all game. And Nico went 5 and 17.
Oh, I see, shooting his body.
Yeah, shooting his body, yeah. Every round.
Well-timed aggression from Luminosity, and again, as your first of 4 matches, the 2-man spray down being on the receiving end is just not what you want. It's not ideal. It's not great at all. I remember when earlier on Overpass, not this match, but just in the history, the age of Overpass, this corner to the right-hand side, you'd always see Edward jumping over that corner to look towards toilets, and I never saw anybody expect it and punish him for it. He would do it every single round. Every single round. It was a free frag for an AWP around the toilets to just hold an angle there. A free kill, but never happened.
Damn. 3 kills, 3 rounds, and then that was it. Fell flat. Luminosity destroyed that half. That was really well played. It's all that good A aggression. That's just how you know the map's being played properly.
I wish we saw that style of Luminosity more often, but maybe it depends on the map, and I'm sure it does depend on the opponent, but the stronger the opponent, the less you respect them, the better you might do. As some people have shown us against FaZe. And I did think Overpass would be telling as to where Rogue might be, but it is a game of 2 halves, and hopefully they win the pistol so they can show us their own CT half. But so far, not so good. They've got 4 players in the B bomb side expecting a rush Rogue, and this is this matchmaking strats? Is this around the world thing?
Around the world,
where
yeah.
Then you go to B.
It's the infamous God B strat.
What can they determine from all the space they have taken uncontested? See the smoke towards the balcony position, and there's a bait set up. Cadian facing the floor, so Fika goes down. Maybe he's the only person there. Hiko, great round so far from him. Really going for that 4th frag, but he can't quite find it, and Cadian can finish things off. Great individual play from Hiko with a P2000.
Absolutely, good shooting. Barely even needed Cadian at that point.
Even though he missed that last shot, I really respect how carefully he wants to try and land it.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people just spam faster.
Yeah, it's a good presence of mind. He wanted the aces like, this is my chance. He could see the Reddit top or rising page, but no.
Good night.
It wasn't to be. Going into controversial instead. Deep grenades, but Luminosity seems well positioned. Maybe expectant. Perhaps they have done their homework.
No, Yell seems to have got a tip. Whoa.
Is this some kind of hard counter maybe?
Oh boy.
Well,
Strat cancelled.
at least that will pull, well, it would have pulled back the rogue players, but they're back anyway. This is an anti-force fire round. They don't necessarily want to give anything up for free here. Some spam. Well, is that to run distraction perhaps? Also get lucky, or both? Probably both.
Actually, not a fan of the anti-eco setup for Rogue, playing very, very passively on sites, not peeking for any initial damage. I think the CZs get this close is actually quite dangerous. Brought this to light in the video I made recently as well. They got the re-smoke up at 36 seconds. Uh-oh.
Oh,
Oh,
GMD taking some damage.
all gas.
They will hear that. And I don't know if that is really necessary to push for a smoke with a flashbang on your own and compromise your teammate's position because they've got no cover with this much time on the clock. Why? 4 versus 2, now they plant the bomb. Hiko has an opportunity. Everyone's tagged. Next bullet wins, literally. The next bullet wins. He can't risk a wallbang, surely. Trying to figure out where these players are, and they're all rotating. It's a massive disc. Sedate wheel on a moon phase watch. What do you think of that?
That was nice. A date wheel on a moon phase watch.
No, not that. I mean this. Like, why?
This is craziness. So that is the awkward position. You make those bad decisions when you feel like there's too much pressure on you. Like, you felt like you had to move. So one of the problems with the FACEIT on Overpass is there's not enough good cover for like multiple people to stand on. On B, some push like that would look even crazier, right?
The problem is, if they are there, they are right behind that smoke, which means they're going to hear you throw your flashbang.
Oh yeah.
So at that point, you might as well. I think another option would be, I mean, what is it? 25 bullets in the UMP. Like, he could spray a few bullets, like beside one of the walls at least.
Sure.
And reposition. I don't know.
So the way I think about it is, yeah, it was a bad decision. I think it happened because they decided to give up so much control of everything. They got nervous, and they could have prevented that by being a little bit more peaky in the beginning of the round, where it's actually safer. In that situation, they do the same thing they would have done early on, but with way higher consequences. So then he goes down. They can't even rotate fast enough because they're already at the site.
There's the flash from Hiko. Cello. The smoke grenade is perfect actually to protect him while the CTs go for it. It'll give him some 1 versus 1s. 2 players remain here now for Rogue, sorry. Now it's 2 for both sides. Hiko going for the hero defuse in the middle of the site, and 6 surely run away with the Galil. Don't die with the bomb. And he's going to die with the bomb. Boom.
He died with the bomb.
Well, that could have been rescued. That could have been something to do more damage. Better chance of doing more damage in this round than perhaps at the end of that round, dying with a bomb. Save the Galil CV play.
Sort of going how we forecasted as well, I think. Just Luminosity's skill is it's just elevating all the time, and or maybe not even elevating, but just being realized, manifested better through the strategy and the approach of the team. This could be a better way to put it. Hello, that is very prominent. Yes. Oh, it's gone. He's fixed it. Well, that's disappointing, isn't it? The sticker was just in his mouth, just ran out there, flying around. Well, the double grenades, double HEs for Rogue, will be the only tools they have for damage, and they are likely not going to be able to find a good spot for them. Maybe. Maybe they can use them to break into the bank and get some more money.
That's always nice.
Yeah. Maybe that's the plan. They are all around the bank.
How many banks have you broken into, Launders?
Yeah. I wouldn't talk about that on stream now, would I, James?
You've talked about that sort of thing on stream, James. People that you know that rob banks.
Oh yeah, I knew a guy, but he got convicted for it, so it's fine. He
But
went
me-
into jail for it and came back out again.
But me, I'm
Now he's,
here on ECS.
A tycoon.
Yeah.
Now he's bigger than ever.
Now he's...
Now he runs the police.
Yeah. Not the game of Overpass that Rogue were looking for, but if they are to lose this, which looks fairly likely at the moment, I think this is something they can review and say, okay, when we're in this situation in the future, what do we want to do? Like when we are on the anti-force buy and we camp the sites, when that smoke's starting to disappear and there's 20 seconds left, what do we want to do? What positions do we want to be in? So it's one game and they can look for the positives. What can we take from this? And that's important.
Yeah, there's a lot of valuable game tape that came of this game. A lot of rounds you could look at. Rounds that Luminosity were able to get away with pushes that Rogue spent a little bit too much time unaware of. The fact that they were able to stack sites on them and Rogue didn't even know. Many, many things. All the things.
And this has not worked out for Rogue.
Yeah. I mean, oh, wait,
Oh,
whoa.
no.
Whoa. They had
What a-
no one in B.
What a way to lose the round. Yeah, they just all walked
I
fountain.
thought it was an eco round.
Yeah, they just all walked fountain. It's the last round, basically.
Oh my god. What?
That doesn't feel too good, does it? Well, that's... oh, no. So, I mean, basically, the gamble didn't pay off. This is just now the representation of what that looks like. And they'll trade out eventually, and 16-4 is the score.
I've never seen a gamble like that.
Yeah. Either way, it's definitely going to be a great start for Luminosity. Build that momentum, and that's going to make them even scarier moving forward into the next map. A confident Luminosity against a broken Rogue. Are they going to be able to put themselves back together again? Can they find all the King's men?
Yeah, I do wonder about how deep the map pool is for Rogue at the moment. At least versus Luminosity. Overpass was not the one. The next map's going to be Inferno. And I think Inferno is so popular at the moment that can't be a map anybody's a stranger to. So hopefully we'll see a more competitive offering from Rogue on Inferno.
Yeah. The only thing sometimes with like an Inferno is just like people might be comfortable with it, but they still might not know as a team how to make certain choices. Like how the protocols put in a place that makes sense. But I'm just afraid for Rogue because Luminosity have a start like this, and they are really good on that T side, especially.
Yes, we will see what finds out on Inferno between these two teams after this break.